Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all of the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, so I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner, you guys. I am nothing more than your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm your homie HerbMan, all right? So all we do simply here on the HerbMan show, okay, is we teach you guys how to heal yourself. And you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So what we do here on the HerbMan show is teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness. All right. Now, this is a free information station. You don't have to pay anything for this information, obviously. We're coming live from South Africa. We're live on TikTok and live on YouTube right now as we speak. So you guys can go over there and just kind of find out which platform you want to rock with us on and rock with us there. And you can also subscribe and all that so that you can be notified anytime we come on and say what thus said nature, aka God. All right. So now, with that being said, you guys, let's get us up to 100,000 likes during this live. All right. Now, one of the key components to how we start off is once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. But what we've really been teaching people, for you guys that are new to the program, they ain't never seen HerbMan before, ain't never heard of HerbMan before, don't know what this man talking about on social media, on YouTube and all that. I get it. What we're simply saying is that there is not a panacea product for your health and wealth concerns. There ain't no one thing out there that's going to fix your credit, that's going to fix your relationship with money, that's going to fix your relationship with food, that's going to fix your relationship with people. There's not one thing out there that's going to do all of that. There's not a one God, there's not a one this, there's not a one product that's going to solve all your problems. But what I can tell you is that there is a program that has a panacea effect, which means that if you send your mind, body, spirit, and soul through a program, through a reprogramming, through a re-engineering, through a retooling, through a re-education program, then you can heal your finances. You can heal your relationship woes. You can heal your social anxieties. You can heal your diseases. But it must be a reprogramming of not just your body, but your mind. And so we're offering you, for a funky, measly $50, a chance at taking your health back into your own hands without us having to carry you and babysit you. You get all this information into your hands. That's what we're offering, a program for you to send your body through to be able to heal you of all these things you got going on, from relationships, emotions, mental illnesses, physical illnesses, spiritual illnesses, etc., etc. There has to be a retooling of the mind. And so what we are propagating today and what we've been teaching for the longest here is how to learn from an education-based program instead of somebody who's just going to sell you a two-piece fish dinner every day. I'm going to teach you how to fish instead of opening up a restaurant so that you can come to my restaurant every single day and buy 2 pieces, 3 pieces of fish. I would rather open up a school to teach you how to fish, so that once you get fishing down pat, you don't have to be at my store every day. And guess what? You don't force me to have to be cooking fish every day. Okay? When you have what you need in your own hands, then you're not dependent on me, which then don't make me have to be dependent on you. See, when you are good at what it is that you need to be good at, then therefore you don't have to be dependent on me because I'm good at something that you ain't. Now, I got to look at it as a livelihood, because guess what? I guess I can make money off of your ignorance. And your ignorance is creating industry. And I'm just not in it for the industry. I'm in it for your ignorance. So we're going to make sure that we eradicate ignorance instead of expound on and expand industry. It's already enough fakers out here. It's already enough takers out here. It's already enough people out here trying to get your little measly funky $50. So what we want to do then is we want to say, well, hell, what kind of person get for that little funky measly $50 that's going to gravitate them and elevate them and get them to where they need to be for the rest of their natural born lives without them having to come bother me every day. And the only thing we can come up with is to be able to go back to nature and allow that to happen. And so that's what we are promoting is the owner's manual, okay? But how we're teaching you about this so that you can understand the efficacy of this particular thing here. Let's make sure we had 1,000 likes, and since we are, let's get there. What we're trying to teach you is that there is an old, ancient understanding of timekeeping. Okay? Timekeeping. Okay? Timekeeping belonged to the timekeepers. Okay? Timekeeping belonged to the timekeepers. Now, time is quantified in numbers, obviously, right? So you had these things and these people that could calculate time. Let's say the things that timekeeping tools, let's do it like this. Timekeeping tools were crystals. Crystals record the sun. It absorbs the sun and can record the times that the sun came around and around and around. Okay, obviously, not only crystals, but then you also have some things in the water. Okay, that can do them too. I think they call isotopes. I want to say they call isotopes. Okay, I want to say they call isotopes, but these things in different types of isotopes, but they record time. Okay, another one that we showed you here, and I'm gonna show you guys this because I brought some receipts. Another one here, YouTube, I'm showing them some receipts that we had from yesterday. Another one here is the gnomon. Okay, these are just timekeeping tools. A gnomon. All right, a gnomon ain't nothing but a stick, like you guys are witnessing right here on TikTok. A gnomon ain't nothing but a stick, and when the sun move around the stick, obviously it will leave a shadow, and we will look at that shadow for being able to tell time. Okay. Another one here is what you're seeing here on TikTok now is Adam's calendar, which is here in Mpumalanga, South Africa, right? Which is a place that we're going to visit, and I'm taking you guys on that field trip with us, all right? But this is called Adam's calendar. It is the oldest calendar on the planet, okay? It is the oldest calendar on the planet, all right? And that is going to be a timekeeping with stones, okay? With stones, all right? Now, a lot of you guys already know the famous Stonehenge, which is what we're showing them right now. YouTube, we're showing them Stonehenge, okay? So Stonehenge, the stones were also timekeeping tools. Timekeeping tools, okay? Now, once we got good at the timekeeping tools, you guys, then it came to what we know now as what we're using in your owner's manual, okay? At first, we were using crystals and isotopes and gnomons and stones and stone hinges, and we were using these things to dictate what? You had the moon, okay? You had the sun, okay? And so we were using these things to tell time, whether it was months. We were using the moon to tell the months. We were using the sun to tell the day. We were using the gnomon to look at the hours, okay? We was using the zodiac and all these different things to tell seasons. Okay. Now, what is it that these things were doing for us? Why was it so important to be timekeeping or to be a timekeeper? Why was it important to find tools of timekeeping or record keeping? Why was it important to know hours and seasons and months and days and all of that type of stuff as well? Because timekeeping was a thing that gave us structure. Okay? It was a thing that gave us connection to the cosmos. Okay? It gave us structure. It gave us connection to the cosmos. Okay? It also gave us sacred times. Sacred times, the way you would fast, the way you would sacrifice something, or where you would celebrate a birthday or funeral or your et cetera, et cetera. It gave you sacred times. So timekeeping gave us structure, a connection to the cosmos, and sacred times that allowed us to do what? First and foremost, allowed us to feed our people. To know this structure, to know this timekeeping, gave us an ability to feed our people. When we understood the influence that time got on us, and that time was influenced by the planetary alignments. So we start watching, we start looking, we start getting months, we start getting days, we start getting hours, we start noticing seasons. And what good is that information for? Is to feed your people, because you got to know when. You got to know when harvesting, you got to know when to reap, you got to know when to plant. You got to know when to sow, right? So you got to know when to sow, you got to know when to reap, you got to know when to plant, and you got to know when to harvest, and your ass got to know when to get the high ground because of the flood. So therefore, what happens is, not only did it let us feed our people, but it started to allow us to also organize things. Organize things now, because I got this little structure going on. So now I can organize my day. Now I know that I got about this many minutes, hours, or whatever in this day, in this week, in this month left. See? So time is a big influence. You clock in at your job and you clock out, right? Why are they keeping time? Because it is going to be a transactionary thing that you guys don't understand, but you will before this live is through with, okay? Timekeeping, okay? Which means that it's a transaction, it's a currency. Remember that these are numbers. Numbers, currency works in numbers. So time is actually a currency, just like your money. But what you're doing is you're transactioning. So you're spending, you're basically trading in money, tangible green money, for your time. Your time is a currency. It's a transaction. It's a barter that if you give me 5 minutes, you're going to give me something out of that 5 minutes. If I'm going to give you my body for these 2 hours, then you're going to get out of me something for those 2 hours. Okay? If I'm going to sit here on the platform for 2 hours, then yes, I'm expecting something out of you, but you should definitely be expecting something out of me. Right? Because I'm giving you my time. Right? So that's why we say tap the screen and get us to 100,000 likes, because that right there is allowing me to do a little bit more. Even though this is a free platform, I could use this free space to at least be able to maximize presence and be able to maximize message, being able to get out to as many people as possible. So while I got you detained for 2 hours, then there's things that you're going to do, like tap the screen, like tell your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or somebody, man, this dude here fine. So time was currency. It was a transactionary thing that you got a bunch of. You might be looking right now in your pocket and saying, I ain't got number $5 to my name, but how much time do you got? Some of you are poor in money, but you're rich in time. But you don't know how to transactionary. You don't know how to use that time as a bartering tool for what you need. If you got a lot of time and I got a lot of money, let's swap out. I pay you for your time. Okay? So then that allows us to organize your day, your week, your month, your life begins to get organized just because you started to figure out how to keep time. Okay? You started to figure out how to keep time, how influential time is on you. All right. So it feeds your people. It organizes you. Again, it allows you to worship. Right. So you got your gods from time. So the gods that you're serving came from the influence of time, because time came from the celestial planetary alignments. So your Zeus is your Jesus. The sun is your Jesus, your God. right? So you're using planetary things and you created gods from them. Somebody say, well, I don't know about that one. Okay, so Saturn really is time. Saturn really is time. So then what are we talking about when we talking about time? You're really talking about Saturn. You see what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna go there because I want this to be for Rico and Maymay them. Rico and Maymay them don't give a damn about Saturn. All Rico and Maymay them care about it. They ain't got no Medicare, they ain't got no Medicaid, and they ain't got no insurance. But they got a bump on their booty that need to be healed, and we got to do that. We got to heal that for Maymay them, regardless of what access they got to what kind of money they got. So Maymay and Ray Ray don't give a damn about Saturn. They just want to know how time gonna help me. And so we're going to go down that road and let you understand that not only did it allow you to feed your people, organize your day, worship your gods, but then also it gave you a connection again to the cosmos. Okay, that's simply what timekeeping did for us. That's simply a few things that timekeeping did for us. Now, let me show you something else that timekeeping do, because now we're about to get into the real weeds of why it's important to understand what we are presenting to you with this owner's manual thing. Okay, timekeeping. Okay, now you clocking in, you clocking out. You got a young age, an old age, an adolescence. You got preteens. All of this is quantified by time. You got a time to die, time to be born. You got all the stuff in between that is all quantified and influenced by time, right? So we understand that there are going to be different times and different seasons for things. Okay, we understand that there's going to be different times and different seasons. Okay, seasons for things. These seasons are not just the 4 seasons that you know or the 2 seasons that you're living in. They ain't that, but they're also very allegorical. Okay, very metaphorically. They're also talking to you about temporary events that happens in one life. So seasons ain't just about what happens in the planet, but it's also just about what happens to you. Now we know that spring comes, but it don't stay for forever. We know that summer may come, but summer don't stay for forever. You may get a little winter, but winter don't stay for forever. You may get a little fall, but we know that fall. So we understand that seasons are always going to be for sure coming, but also for sure temporary. So we know off the rip that time gives us an ability to see a cyclical understanding of principles in this natural experience. So that when you're looking at natural living and natural ways, you got to be able to understand what is going on in your life and what you need to do to balance out that motion. So what I mean by that is that if in my life right now is winter, I need to balance that out with some summer. Okay? Period, point blank. So again, in my life, if it's a season for sickness, I need to balance that out with healing. Okay? Point blank, bottom line. But you must understand that your sickness is temporary, just like your healing can be. You must understand that your summer is temporary, just like your winter can be. Right? So we're not going to try to make a permanent state out of a cyclical, temporal understanding. So why do you think your kidneys can't get rebuilt? It's crazy. Why do you think your leukemia can't be fixed? It's crazy. Why do you think your cancer can't be healed? Is absolutely insane. Because if you just knew just the small little examples of nature, then you will know that that's in your bag. Healing is in your bag. Recuperation, rejuvenation, you came with that. But you don't know how to apply opposites to your problem because they're not the modern healthcare system don't operate in nature like this no more, but we do. and we still have this knowledge, and we still have held this knowledge, and we still will progress this knowledge on into the future as human beings continue to be here in this planetary experience. This ain't going nowhere. When the last time have you seen a plant whisperer, a nature whisperer, outside of somebody throwing some shells on the ground or throwing some bones on the ground, or somebody got to look at your tongue and tell you what's going on? Somebody got to look into your eyes and tell you what's going on. Somebody got to look at your face and tell you what's going on. We ain't got to do that no more. Somebody got to know your blood type to tell you what's going on. See, the owner's manual is non-invasive, non-intrusive. We ain't gonna poke you, prod you. We ain't gonna stick you or prick you. Okay? We don't need no hair sample. We don't need no urine sample. We don't need no stool sample, no saliva sample. We don't need no live culture from your little bump dying now. We don't need none of that. We don't need your doctor's diagnosis, and we don't need no self-diagnosis. We don't want to know what you and me got to say about you, period. You don't even want my opinion of you. No, you don't. You don't even want my opinion of you. I will fuck you up. Look, I make just as many mistakes as the doctor because it's human fallibility that's being involved in our evolution. But it is the progression of your evolution that is tied into time. And if I take you off of time, then I slow down your evolution as a human species. And some of you guys are evolving way faster in this same life experience. Some of y'all are growing faster, and some of you guys are growing slower under the same time. Now, how is that? How in the hell is you got 24 hours in a day and I got 24 hours in a day, but why in the hell is both of our kids 2 years old, but my son talk better than your daughter? They were both on the planet at the same time. What the hell going on? Because you're in different time warps. Because when you come back through the birth channel canal, when you come back to your rebirth, your reincarnation, they warp you into a different time so that your ass can't remember. If I put you back in the same time, you're going to remember stuff around you. You're going to remember scenery. You're going to remember trips. You're going to remember certain, sometimes when I'm in South Africa right now, but some mornings when I wake up, I think I'm in Japan. Because the sunlight is the scenery. It almost take you back to a time of something that you remember because you in this same time. That was in my time. I'm here 46 years, and Japan was in that 46, just like South Africa. So I can cross over in the time through dream because I literally been in those time zones. So in order to keep you from remembering, from you having deja vu, they got to warp your ass. You got to get warped. Can't go back to the same time. Even if I make you a white man and you was a black man, if I put you back in the same time, you might remember that your ass used to be black. So we're time warped, which some people are going to be speeding up, evolving faster, while others are evolving slower in the same time. See, this shit go real deep, but I'm going to try to keep it sweet with you, okay? This stuff go real deep. So seasons, okay? You really want to understand what I just told you right there about the cyclical understanding of nature. Nature works in cycles. Somebody please put that in the chat on the YouTube, and somebody please put that in the chat on the TikTok. Nature works in cycles. Nature works in cycles. Somebody put that in the chat, please. Nature works in cycles, okay? I'm going to put it up here. But nature works in cycles, okay? Nature works in cycles, right? So what's important for you to understand when you understand that, and that's what you really need to get into your thick head, that, okay, if this is true, if we believe that this is true, I can be poor forever, but in my life, will I get opportunities to better myself? Yes. You could be making the wrong decisions with those opportunities that is going to stipulate why you were poor for the majority of your life. But when it comes down to actually scoping your life, there were opportunities that you didn't know were opportunities. So we get why you didn't know, and we get why you didn't choose. But you didn't choose because you didn't know, which is why we're giving you the owner's manual so you can start knowing shit. And the knowing when is going to get you to this wealth and to this health that we're trying to show you that actually exists. But you got to know how to tap into some stuff in you to get to that win. Knowing when is intuitiveness. Knowing when is intuitiveness. So here's the thing. Nature works in cycles. So one thing I can take from this is that every year, if I'm in America, every year, I'm getting 4 seasons. No matter how short or how long winter, spring, summer, and fall is, every year, nature has showed me that I'm guaranteed to get 4 different seasons. But nature has also showed me that they're not one season is not going to last forever. So I come into every year knowing I'm going to get 4 different seasons that are temporary. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Once you get this down, then you'll start seeing what his power lie in. Your power lies in you having to know nature. And you don't know nature, so you don't know yours, which means you don't know how to tap in and out of these things that you're needing in your time of need. So now, I know every year I'm getting 4 seasons, but I know I can't keep 1. That's every year. I'm getting the same opportunities, but they're going to be temporary. So that means I got to know when to do things because I only got a short period of time. Spring is only going to be for 3 months. Summer is only going to be for 3 months. Now, in some of these things, that means that this life lesson is only going to last 10 years. This life lesson may last 30 years. But it still is going to be what? Temporary. It's a temporary situation. Your brokenness, your financial issues, your health concerns are temporary just based off nature. Now, the thing is how do you speed up the healing? Let's say you got something and you don't want to go 10 years with this problem. You don't want to go 30 years with this problem. And that's where I come in and to teach you about the waves, okay? In order for you to be able to understand nature works in cycles, then you must understand this cycle right here, okay? Everybody that know me know what I'm drawing. Everybody that's new don't know. If you're interested in your owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you the information that you need. I have a moderator on now, so if I miss you guys, she will be able to get you the information, okay? All you got to do, if you're interested, put some ones in the chat, and my moderator will get you the email information, the DM, whatever you need, all right? But if you don't want to do that, just DM me, and we'll get you what you need. Okay. This is the timekeeping tool. Okay? This is our timekeeping tool. You will get this in your owner's manual. Without this, it's hard for you to know the when. And without knowing the when, it's hard to know the how. All right, March 21st, June 21st, which makes this the Tropic of Cancer. September 21st, December 21st. All right, this is the sun of this is the ecliptic of the sun, okay? The ecliptic of the sun. Hold on, let me erase this. This is the ecliptic of the sun. Okay? It's a timekeeping tool. All right? Now, nature works in cycles. What cycles do nature work in? I'm going to have some ups and some downs. Ups downs, ups, downs, ins, outs, good times, bad times. See, I'm gonna have some ups, some downs, some ins, some outs, some good times, some bad times. Okay, this is showing you the cycle and the movement that there's gonna be. Now, it's gonna be some ups and downs in your month, ups and downs in your day, ups and downs in an hour, ups and downs in a season. But now we know how it's flowing. We know that this is guaranteed. But look at the guarantee. I'm guaranteed to give you some ups, but your ass can't stay up forever. You got to come down this hill. Now, I'm guaranteed to give you some valleys and some lows, but guess what? You ain't gonna be there forever. You coming up, going back up the mountain. Oh my goodness. So now let's say your low is sick. All we got to get you to do is prepare for the cycle. What you're doing is getting diagnosed with cancer, and you're out of time, you're out of season, you're out of, you know what I mean? You letting that stop you from the cyclical understanding of that. That's how I'm so appalled that y'all say you know God. You're going to church talking about you know God, but you don't know the ways of God because you don't know the ways of nature, and nature is God. See, if you don't know nature, how can you know? If you don't know creation, how in the hell could you know the creator? There's no way in the world that you could tell me that you just as smart as Bill Gates and you've been on the computer instead of making a computer. Bill Gates made the computer. You working on the computer. That's two different levels of understanding. You know how to work the computer, but do you know how to build one? Right? So, but my point to you is that until you learn how to work that computer enough, the inner workings of it, not just the input, but the output, not just the software, but the hardware, then you can go to Bill Gates and say, boy, I've been working on your computer so long that I think I can build one just like you. Now, because you know the creation, you can start figuring out the creator. You can't know God without knowing nature or knowing yourself. There's no way you can love God more than you love your neighbor, which you see every day. And you ain't seen God at no time. No man has seen God at any time. But you keep talking about you straight up there, but you ain't straight with the people around you. The best way to know creator is to know the creation. Okay? So what we're giving you here is just, I'm going to say what we're giving you here is characteristics of nature. So then you can start to figure that out. You start figuring yourself out. Ups and downs every day, month, year, season. This is the way life goes. It's an up and down thing, up and down thing. When you up, there's going to be opportunities to stay up, and there's going to be opportunities to bring you down. When you down, there's going to be opportunities to stay down. There's going to be opportunities to bring you up. It's all about the decisions that you're making at these times in life. And there's always going to be two choices, but you don't know what that is. Okay? You don't know what that is. So that's why you don't understand. Okay, so case in point. Real quick, somebody really quick on here, give me your birthday. I just need the birth date. I just need the birth month and the birth year. Give me your birthday real quick. And be somebody that's willing to tell the truth. So if I ain't right, I ain't right. I want you to tell these folk I ain't right. If I am right, I want you to tell them I am right. Okay? I need for you to speak up. Dr. Mark Dean created the computer, sir. Okay, thank you. Hopefully that'll save your life, since that was so valuable of information for you to tell me. E. Taylor 201. E. Taylor 201 7955. Okay. So your manufacturing date, every owner's manual got a manufacturing date, is 7955. Okay, every owner's manual that you ever purchased equipment has the manufacturing date. Okay, every owner's manual also will give you the model number to that piece of equipment. Okay, 7 plus 9 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. So when you add these two numbers together and then you come down to the bottom number, you're gonna get 7 out of that, right? 1955, which means 15 plus 5 is gonna be 20. So that's 2, right? So 2 and 7 is going to give you 9. Okay. 2 and 7 is going to give you 9. So this is a model 9 human being. There are 12 to 13 different types of human species, 12 to 13 different types of men, and 12 to 13 different types of women. We are not the same. Just like your 1987 Chrysler is not the same as that 2025 Chrysler. Your 1985 Cadillac is not the same as the 2025 Cadillac. But they both still Cadillacs, but they're not the same. Okay? Y'all are not the same. Another valuability to modern medication is we can't get specific enough through blood. They drawing your blood, but it's still not specific enough. That's why a lot of you guys can go to the doctor, get blood drawn, and they still can't find the problem, but you sick as a dog. Well, there's nothing in your blood. Your blood looks fine. Well, why the hell am I throwing up, got headache, about to die? I feel like I'm about to die. Y'all can't find nothing in my blood. No, because the blood don't tell you everything you need to know. It's not specific enough by way of nature. So you got to think about a lot of this stuff that we're doing. So you got to go back to nature, which means you got to go back to your ancestral understanding, which means you got to go back to your intuitive skills, which means you got to go back to your telepathic abilities to be able to talk with nature, which means you got to go back to some spiritual shit, which means you got to go beyond how in the hell we know what's going on in your blood. We wouldn't know back then. So we wouldn't take your blood back then because we shouldn't be taking your blood now. Because the blood ain't the way to tell the specifics. But that's what you think. Because these issues coming through the spirit, through your emotional, they're infiltrating you emotionally. That will eventually show up in the blood when it's a incurable disease, when it's a diabolical issue, when it's a situation that's taking over the body. Yeah, it will eventually show up in the blood. But where it starts from is through something that the machinery, the MRI, the CAT scan, the blood test can't picture, they can't image spiritual issues. Okay? And the root of your issues are coming from now. Now, 7959, right? So 621 to 721, we know that this person is a Cancer. Let me put these in here because I didn't get to do this because I'm always jumping the gun. All right? But I want everybody to follow me here so you can see why this is important. A for Aries, T for Taurus, G for Gemini, C for Cancer, L for Leo, V for Virgo. Okay? L for Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and the Pisces. Okay, 621 to 721 is a Cancer. Okay, so this person is right here. Your biggest job in this whole thing is to get back here. To make it back to this point right here, you're going to be 120 years old, which is that's what we selling you. We're selling you 120 years old, walking in that upright, okay? So that's your whole agenda. That's what you got to do to get on the GPS. That's the destination. Where are you currently? 1955, meaning that you are 70 years old, right? Or at least getting there. Well, you just turned 70. Yeah, literally, you just turned 70. So now you are, and then you was born in the middle decan, right? So you only did 6 years in Cancer. At 70 years old, you only did 6 years. So we're going to say 6, 16, 26, 36, 46, 56, 66. And then you are 4 years into Aquarius. So you're in the second decan of Aquarius. Okay? I'm sorry. So you are currently right here in Aquarius. All right? The two biggest things going on. First of all, the thing that's going on with you is a spiritual thing. You're in your spiritual time. You're in your most highest state. You'll see that you're very spiritually and emotionally heightened, sensitive. Very spiritually and emotionally sensitive at this particular point in time. But you've been like that for years. Why? Because you was at your spiritual high. You're at your most high state, at the high tide. This is a spiritual time of life, not. It shouldn't be all focused on the body. It should be more focused on the spirit. You should be more magnetic and less electric, meaning that you should be more restful and less trying to get up and go and do with your physical body. This is a rest period. This is a conservation period. This is a preservation time. Okay? Now, what you've been dealing with in the last 3 years, right? Because you just not got over here in the last 4 years. And this Aquarius is you've been trying to give back. You've been doing a lot of humanitarian things. You've been doing a lot of community involvement. You got a lot of social awareness going on. There's some things been going on. But most importantly, the decision that you've been having to make is, do I show them, and I want you to listen to me carefully, do I show them my heart or do I show them my mind? This is what you've been fighting against just for the last 4 years. Do I show them my heart or do I show them my mind? The answer to this test is you show them your mind. Okay? 7955. The answer to your test is to show them your mind, not your heart. Okay? That's the answer to your test. You need to show them your mind. Okay? Who is this that I'm doing? E. Taylor. E. Taylor, you the one that I'm doing? We want to hear from you. I think E. Taylor is the one that I'm doing. Hold on, let me go back up here and see who I'm doing if I can get that person back. I like to talk to you. I don't like to just do your shit for free. Yeah, that's E. Taylor. Okay, E. Taylor, I just wanted to make sure it was you. You just say, yep, you are in my head, amazing info. Yeah, I'm telling you. So, but what I'm saying to you is that without just that right there, it's gonna solve a lot of your problems in the next. You got to go through this test for 6 years, 10 years. You already been there, folks. So you got to go through this for another 6 years. What if you didn't figure that out? Now you got more classes that you failed during the yellow brick road than you passed. Bring your ass back on back. Reincarnated, reinbirthed. You didn't understand the assignment. What was the assignment? Every life lesson is going to give you a up or a down to see if you know how to ride that wave. You're at your spiritual consciousness right now. So show them your mind. And don't be afraid. Show them how smart you is. Show them how informative you is. Show them how helpful you are. Show them how brilliant you are. Show them how spiritual, open-minded you are. Show them your mind. That's the answer to this test right here. Okay? Now, with that being said, we also can start going to some spiritual stuff. All right? Your biggest spiritual thing is going to be attachment issues, E. Taylor. Okay, attachment issues is your biggest spiritual concern for me. Attachment issues, okay? Those attachment issues can start to wreak havoc on your nervous system. So you can start seeing nervous system conditions, nervous system disorders, okay? So if you don't get attachment issues down, then you can start getting the nervous system situations, okay? That's just off the birthday. And we give you foods, we give you herbs, and we give you the activities and all that stuff you need to involve yourself with. For that little funky measly $50, we'll give you the rest of all of this stuff. But just look at what we did just with what we got. Lord have mercy. Just look at what we did with what we got. Okay? Now, how can you get that person all the way down to the T? Right? Now, another thing is because you were born in the middle decan of Cancer, there are two big things that you want to definitely be concerned about when it's talking about your health. And one of the main ones is going to be body fat. Okay? Body fat is going to be one of the biggest ones. And the other one is going to be the stuff going on with your bones, E. Taylor. So your bones and body fat is going to be some of the other things that you want to watch out for. Just measly off that birthday, okay? All right. Now, again, so you guys see why it's important to be able to know the right times so that you can get into the right groove and the right pocket. So what I mean by this is, let's say E. Taylor got into something that she was trying to heal herself from. She would need to be more spiritually magnetic than trying to physically do it. That's what I'm trying to tell E. Taylor, and that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. She's in the most high state. So all she got to do is focus, concentrate, think on it, pray on it, meditate on it, and you will bring it to you. You're at your most highest conscious level so you can start being magnetic. If you focus on it, concentrate on it, think on it, meditate on it, pray on it, long enough, it'll come to you, and you ain't got to move your body to do it because you're at that time. Remember, I just told you you're at your most emotionally and spiritually heightened self, sensitive. So that means that not only can you receive, but you can also give. Now, when your body is exasperated at 70-something years old and you don't have physical energy no more, then mama, we got to pull this energy from somewhere else, which is we going to pull it from your spirit. And we're going to let your focus and concentration in your prayer life and thought life and meditative life give you the energy that the body can't give. And that's how we learn how to ride the wave, to know how to get you back into balance with nature. Without you knowing this information, you don't know what to apply to the test, so you fail it. The doctor don't know you in your spiritual time. He finna give you some medication. That's physical shit. But this time you need to be at the pastor. But the pastor ain't spiritual enough to get you to, you got to connect to it. They don't give a damn about how high spiritually the pastor is. Pastor ain't got the cancer. This got to be how spiritual how you is. You the one who got the cancer. So you go to a doctor that don't know nothing about this, and you go to a pastor that don't know nothing about this, then how do you get this? Please keep tapping the screen, you guys. Please keep tapping. I'll keep talking. If you're going to the doctor and he don't know nothing about this factor of nature, this influence, or even to tell you this, you going to the pastor, they don't know this. And you need to be spiritually strong, but you went to him because they are. Well, they ain't the one that need to be spiritual. We can't pull from his energy into you. We need to pull from your energy within you, because it has to be programmed through you. It's almost like you telling somebody your password. Okay, you can tell somebody your password, but did you not know that the password also is voice activated? So it's going to be way more than them just knowing the digits. They got to have your voice. Now, how the hell you going to rip your voice off yourself and give it over? See, the password ain't just going to happen just because you know the code, but the code is intrinsically integrated into not only the digits or the alphabets or the letters, but also the voice. So although you may got the code to my phone, you ain't got my voice, you still can't get in it because it requires me. I'm the only one gonna be able to open Pandora's box within me. So pastor can't open it, and damn sure medication can't. Which is why we got to teach you how to unlock this within you. And for a funky measly $50, that's what the owner's manual is attempting to do, is put all of the information of how you get back into balance with nature into your own hands. You can keep looking at it, keep watching over it, keep studying it. I'm going to be doing this until the day I die. So you can keep on watching me over and over and over again until you get it, till you got it, and then you're good. But regardless, you got it, and it ain't the doctor that got your file. It ain't the pastor that got your file. It is you that got the file on you. Okay? This information is coming out because it's just that time. It's that season. Okay? We're in the Aquarian age. This is an information-driven time. But there's also going to be a time of rebellion. This is also going to be a time where the status quo, okay, these systems, these structures are going to start to get remodeled. They're going to start to get destroyed, destructed. They're going to start to get, the people are rebellious because of the spirit of the age. It ain't got nothing to do with one person. Trump ain't started the age of Aquarius. He's a part of it. Yeah, you talking about. So he just been a part of the age. He just been who he's supposed to be to bring about certain things. When she got with you, you brought about happiness. When she was with the other dude, she was crying. She would still be crying had it not been for the new man. So therefore, it's you bringing in the thing, but it's happening in her life. So we are pieces to all the stuff that you've been reading about and told about it. I tell my mom all the time, y'all said it's supposed to get worse for it to get better, but for some reason you think they're just gonna beat Trump. Everything that's supposed to beat Trump. If it's gonna get worse, then we're gonna make decisions for that worst to happen. And we're gonna make decisions for that best to happen. So don't get mad if Trump get voted in when you just said it got to get worse before it get better, that means that we're going to make these decisions to make it worse in order to make decisions for it to get better. So everybody got to play their part and play their role in that paradigm. Some people think Trump is there to make it better. Some people think Trump there to make it worse. But my point is if he's playing his role in what nature wants to happen for us, that's all I give a damn about. So to me, he's the worst and the better. Because without the better, I got to get the worst before I get the better. So he is the better, but he coming in the worst format, but that's okay because after him, it's going to get better or whoever it's going to be. So my point to you is I welcome the good and the bad. I welcome the high and the low. I welcome the worst and the better times. But you don't want Trump to win. Oh, Trump don't supposed to win. How it's supposed to get worse before it get better then? Tell me how that's supposed to happen. Who's supposed to get in here to make it worse? Is somebody worse than Trump? Regardless, if it's supposed to get worse before it get better, understand that these votings are supposed to happen. Understand that these elections, understand that this trajectory, this ebb and this flow is supposed to happen. Okay? It is supposed to happen. I'm telling you, once you get this damn thing right here in your spirit, nature works in cycles. And once you start realizing that I ain't gonna be rich for forever, I ain't gonna be poor for forever, I ain't gonna be young for forever, I ain't gonna be single for forever, I ain't gonna be sick for forever, but I'm also ain't gonna be healthy for forever. So as long as I understand nature works in cycles, I can start to guard and be preventative against the next thing in life. Once I get to the mountain, I'm already looking for the valley. But I ain't gonna let it take the pride of getting to the top. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy myself, but I know after I get the enjoyment out, the next 5 minutes is the trek down this hill. And yeah, I'm gonna start getting into a lot of stuff going down this hill, old valleys and deaths and diseases and divorce and disagreements and all these old mishaps in life. They come down there, but so yeah, I'm down here in hell. I'm at the lowest part of life. I'm at my despair, my isolated, desolated time of life. I'm here where I'm lonely and this and that. But at the end of the day, I can only sit here in this shit for a little bit because the next day or the next moment, I got to start walking back up the mountain. When you come out of that hospital room with this diagnosis, you got to know that yes, it's okay to express what that diagnosis feels to you, but you can't suppress that thing in you and don't want to deal with it because then you don't deal with the trek up the mountain. See, the very next day after the diagnosis, the very next day after stage 4, stage 5, kidney diagnosis, cancer diagnosis, autoimmune diagnosis, is I got to now walk up the mountain. The very day after the divorce, the very day after the miscarriage, the very day after these atrocities happen, the next day, baby, is a trek up the mountain. And I know that I'm going toward the mountain because I know that there ain't nothing but 2 ways to go. When I'm down, I'm going up. And when I'm up, I'm going down. And I start to understand that these cycles are happening throughout the day and time. So guess what? When I'm up, if I catch a up on the way up, now I done caught a goddamn escalator, an elevator. I done caught a faster way up the mountain. But it's the same thing that we used to tell you back in the day when we from the country. They say, boy, you're going to go to hell in the gasoline draw. So that means that don't fuck around here and go down here too fast. So now you rolling down the hill too fast. You riding down the hill too fast. You know what I'm saying? You done fucked up and flipped and slipped down the hill. So now you're getting broke too fast. You're getting broken down too fast, brokenhearted too fast. You're getting financial woes too fast. You're getting social situations too fast. You're getting diseases too fast. Because the same thing here. The fast way up, you fuck around and get a fast way down. But it ain't going to ever change directions. It's up and it's down. How many of you would consider you say, that you're down right now? How many of you would consider to say that you were down right now? Because the good news is you finna go up. The people who say they up right now, the bad news is for you. But the folk who sick, the folk who fucked up, the folk who broke, the folk who's brokenhearted, the folks who's impoverished, the folks who ailing, and the folks who are going through social anxiety and relational turmoil, what I want you to know is that if you at the low, it's good news for you, baby. You can't go no lower. It's good news for you because you should understand that when you gave me cancer, you let me know exactly where I'm at, my low. And so now the very next day, it's incumbent upon me to start my trek up the mountain, start to defeat the cancer, start to understand that this cancer is cyclical and it's temporary at best. This is a temporary thing, but if you let it fester, if you let it slow your pace, if you let it stick you, you won't even start the trek. You'll stay right where you at, which means that's where you're going to stay stuck at in the matrix. You don't make it to 120, you don't make it out of the matrix. The only reason I'm putting 120 years up here, because basically what I'm trying to teach y'all is that once I teach you how to get to 120 years old, you actually done learn how to get to everlasting life. Once human beings get to 120 standing up and we not humped over, damn near about to die, once we get to 120 standing up, we're going to hit 240. When we start to learn how to live long, we're going to start to learn how to live forever. It's the same paradigm. The biggest thing is body preservation. But because this information is just not coming out, a lot of us have took the toll before you knew this information. So for the most of us, we still ain't going to make it. So this is for the children, the people under us, for them to understand how important it is to be healthy, but stay healthy. To become healthy, but maintain healthiness as well throughout your sojourn here, because that's going to create the opportunities for you to evolve in a higher, faster rate as long as you can stay alive. And we're putting you in the right time, in the right perspective, so you'll understand exactly what you got going on. Going on with music, bro. Okay? Nature works in cycles. Any questions thus far? Any question thus far before we move on? If you guys are interested in your owner's manual, please DM me and we'll get you the information, okay? We'll get you that information. But this is a timekeeping tool. It is the oldest timekeeping tool that I've ever seen in my life. It's called the Sun's Ecliptic, okay? It is a tropical understanding of nature, okay? It is facing north, right? So everything is north facing. So we go straight down here like that right there. Okay. Right. So that's going to be your north. Okay. That's also spelled throne, right? Throne. North is spelled throne, the most high state. Okay. Anytime that you're facing north, the east is on your right hand side. Okay. Anytime you're facing north, the east is on your right hand side. So when we're looking at this and I'm telling y'all that this is your most high state, I know a lot of y'all are looking at this and you don't really understand, but we're looking at it north. So the right side, the most high state, spiritual. Okay. I ain't been wrong yet now. So we ain't finna start now. Okay. This is also what we call high tide. Rest and manifest. Okay, rest and manifest. All right, over here is going to be your PT, your physical time. Okay, we call this the low tide. Okay, this is your work. This is your working, but we also going to say I'm going to say your initiation. So at your low tide, this is your starting point. You should be starting things here, and then you should be developing things here, not ending nothing. Starting things and developing, right? I plant the seed develops. Okay, and this is a constant on and on. I start it, it develops, I reap it, I go back and sow it, it develops, I reap it, I go back and sow it, it develops, I reap it, I go back to sow it, it develops, I reap, you see that? I reap it, and I go back to sow it, it develops, I reap. So this is a agricultural terminology, but it's all about also these powers that you possess within you. You got to sow it, you got to develop it, you got to reap it. Okay? Sow it, develop it, reap it. Sow it, develop it, reap it. So the physical times is going to be sowing it, developing it, and then here you're going to be reaping. You're in your reaping time. In the reaping, you'll see that a lot of things that you just think about, focus on, pray about, meditate on, talk about, whatever you always up in here with is starting to come to pass in your life. You ain't having to do shit. You're just having to think it and say it. We need that. I need to use that power. A lot of y'all are at this time over here, but you trying to heal your body with your body. I'm saying we need to use that spirit to heal your body. That's all I'm asking. Okay. Now give me another birthday. Let me show you how it fits in. One more birthday. Hurry up real quick. Let me get somebody from my YouTube here. YouTube, let me get a birthday. I just need a month, date, and a year. A month, date, and a year. Anybody want to play the game of life? Anybody want to play the wheel of life? Anybody wants to get their owner's manual? Thank you for stopping by, you guys. Please keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Let's get us up to 100K. Anybody on YouTube are going once, going twice, going once, going twice, because I got a lot of TikTokers ready to go. Going once, going twice. I got somebody, Miss Cornwell, 8/19/70. Okay, 8/19/70. Okay, 8/19/70. Okay, so we already know that from 7/21 to 8/21 is gonna make this person a what? From 7/21 to 8/21 is gonna make this person a what? A Leo. Okay, so again, you're right here. All right. Your whole job is to make it back to here, Leo, to be 120 years old. So this is your destination. What is your current location? Okay, so you are 9 years older than me. So that's gonna make you 55. Okay, so if you're 55 years old, you were born in the last decan here of Leo. So you got all 10 of these years. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 5. Okay, so you are 5 years, which means that you're in the middle decan of Capricorn right now. Okay, you're 5 years into the middle decan of Capricorn. Off the rip, I'm automatically tell you that there's some stuff going on with legacy, your name, your last name, maybe even having some stuff to do with your father. Okay, maybe even having some stuff to do with your father. You're also starting to set some long-term goals, okay? Because your work life is about your career and all this stuff. You're trying to figure out how that's all going to plan out for the next part of your life. So that's good. You're in the long-term goal planning. There's something going on with legacy, with your last name, something about that with you, your father, or with you yourself, or career-wise, okay? But here is the decision that you got to make. Hold on real quick, Tamika. And please talk to us as we walk you through. Here is the decision that you got to make, though. Okay? Well, instead of the decision that you got to make, I'm just going to go ahead and give you the answer to it. The answer to this that you've been toiling with for the last 5 years, okay, is should I keep it together or should I tear it apart? The answer to that is tear it apart, break it up. Okay? Tamika, or Monique, or whatever, Cornwell, 54, you still there. The bottom line is there's a decision that you've had to make as far as your career, your public image, your father, something going on structurally wise in your dynamic. and you've been trying to figure out, do I keep it together or break it up? I'm telling you that the answer to this is to break it up, to tear it apart. And Tamika Cornwell said, yes, that's right. Okay. Now, outside of that, you know, obviously you get more information once you get your owner's manual, but that's just where you at in life. You're also at a spiritual time. You're at your rest and manifest. You're at your high tide, your full moon, your waxing moon time. Okay. So you want to be able to be magnetic, Cornwell. Okay. Magnetic. Thought life, concentration, focus, prayer life, meditation life. If you think it, if you talk about it, if you just sit there and ponder on it long enough, this shit gonna come to you. So this ain't no time for physical energy. This is a time for spiritual. If you are in a health condition, you need spiritual energy to heal you, not physical. Okay. Now, with that being said, because you were born in the third decan here of Leo, you automatically got to watch out for circulation issues. Okay, circulation issues, Cornwell, and movements. Something going on with your movement, right? Your inability to move around. Those are the two things you want to watch out for. Your movements and circulation issues. Okay. Now, we got your model number here. 8 plus 19 is going to be 27. Okay. 2 and 7 is 9. All right. 8 plus 19 is 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. 17 is going to be 8. 8 and 9. Okay. 8 and 9 is going to be 17 again. 1 and 7 is going to be 8. So you're a model number 8. Okay. A model number 8 is letting me know that spiritual tendency wise, you're going to want to watch out for self-control. Okay. Spiritual tendency wise, Cornwell, is self-control. If your self-control issues continue to spawn out of control, I'm talking about spiritually. If your self-control continues to be the factor, or you allow it to be the factor, you're going to have a lot of digestive issues. You maybe even have some blood sugar issues, some pancreas, gallbladder issues, and liver issues. Okay. A lot of stuff going on with those organs and with your digestive system, as long as you let self-control continue to control you. Okay. So you got to watch out for that, and watch out for your circulation, your blood sugar, watch out for your digestive issues. All right. Any other questions, Cornwell? All right. Any other questions, Cornwell? Okay. So right there, you seen that lady was an 8. We just showed y'all some other people that were other numbers. Okay. So the biggest thing is, again, tear it apart. What if she been trying to keep something together? Because she just thinking, well, you know, this is my job, or this is my career, or this is my daddy, or this is my this and my that. You know, we just got to keep this thing together. And all the time is telling you that, no, you're at this time where you need to learn how to let it go. You're at this time where you need to learn how to let that go. This is a lesson to teach you how to let this go. But you got to be able to do it spiritually. So it's more the letting go, more of in your mind, more of your thought life. Let it go. Let it stop staying rent-free in your mind. Let it stop staying rent-free in your prayers. Let it stop staying rent-free in your meditation. Let that stuff stop staying rent-free. Let it go. Time to break it up. But what if she was trying to keep it together? You see, right here, she's telling us about a bad marriage, and then also not knowing the father. Right. Right. Something about their father, but it was something, it's a legacy. So it's like a bloodline. It's like a curse, right? That you got to try to either go back to dad and talk about, or you got to make sure you break it so that somebody else don't do you like daddy did you. You see? So it's a soul tie or generational curse that need to be revisited through father, but you don't even got to do it physically no more. I told you it's here. You let this go here, and you be done what you need to do, Tamika. But that's just a little something. I don't know what's going on in these folks' life. I could just tell you what decision that you got based on the owner's marriage. I don't know Miss Cornwell, okay? All right. But that's just a little something. All right, let's keep it moving. Who else? Who else we got? Any other YouTubers? Let's get it. Okay, any other YouTubers? Let's get it, you guys. You're coming to the right channel if you're looking for natural remedies to your health and wealth issues. Okay, when I teach you about health, I'm teaching you about wealth. If I teach you how to grow a plant, I'm teaching you how to grow an idea. If I'm teaching you how to grow your healing, I'm also teaching you how to grow your cash flow. Once I teach you how to grow something, it don't matter what it is. Okay, it don't matter what it is. All right, it don't matter what it is. Who do we got here? Who do we got here? I got a Tanisha B. Coates. A Tanisha B. Coates, right? 11,479. Okay, 11,479 is on the block. Okay, 11,479. Okay, off the rip, we know from 1021 to 1121 are normally going to be what? The Scorpios, right? And then she was born in the middle decan of Scorpio. So right here, okay, Tamika, your biggest job is to make it back to Scorpio, which will make you 120 years. So that's your destination. What is your current location? You were born in 79, so this year you're going to be 46. You're currently 45. So, and you were born in the middle decan, so you only got 6 years out of this. So 6, 16, 26, 36, 46, okay? So you're in Pisces, and you're in the third decan. You're in Pisces, you're in the third decan, okay? So the decision for you is ending, okay? The decision that you had to make is ending, but you're also going into a transition, okay? You're going into this transition from winter into spring again, right? And your transition, the age starts at 6, 16, 26, 36, 46. Yours started at 41. So from 41 to 51 years old, Tamika B. Coates, from 41 to 51 years old, okay, that you're going through some transition. That means a major life-changing event that's going to be starting to happen to you, okay? Now, you just in now 5 years now, but it started from 41 to 51. It don't mean that it's going to be 10 years long. It just means that that's the 10-year window that you want to be preventative and having your head on the swivel and seeing what's going on. But so something is ending for you. Some closure is coming in, and I'm going to tell you exactly what is coming in. It's a spiritual thing. Something that's happened that is not your fault. It is unknown by you. It got nothing to do with you. The stuff that you've been going through since you've been in Pisces has nothing to do with you, okay? It's not your fault. But what you needed to know is that you needed to do this. You see that, Tamika? You needed to do this. Instead of you going through this spiritual time being very restrictive, I needed for you to let loose. That is going to be the answer to that test. Instead of going through that spiritual time of unknown things happening to you, you started to get more restrictive. What it was telling you to do is I needed for you to let loose. Don't be more restrictive, let loose. And these are the decisions that are happening every day in our lives. And until you get the symbology, until you get the dance, until you get on rhythm with these decisions and what decisions to make, you're fighting against nature, you're fighting against the waves, and it's going to be very hard for you to tap into nature or get any reciprocity from nature, even when nature is exposed to you, because you ain't ready for it yet. See, so you can't be on your deathbed with no energy coming into an herbalist trying to get life energy from dead plants. Did y'all not know that dried plants are dead plants? Did you not know that dried herbs is dead herbs? Come on, somebody. Y'all better stop this stuff, man. Did you not know that shit was dried herb? That dried herbs is dead herbs, right? So you're asking for something, and you ain't even talking about wild harvesting. You ain't talking about going out here growing your own fruits, vegetables, growing your own herbs, healing herbs on medicine, you still thinking that you still thinking that Mountain Rose and Star West Botanical and you still thinking that all this shit good, fine. Keep on doing it, pimp. Keep on. Keep on. You ain't gonna have nothing to utilize other than this in a minute. Okay? You ain't gonna have nothing to utilize other than this in a minute. I'm just trying to put you onto it so you'll understand that you don't need the herbs. You ain't gonna need the grocery store. You ain't gonna need the doctor. You ain't gonna need the pastor. You ain't gonna need the therapist. You ain't gonna need the psychologist. You ain't gonna need none of that. All you need is nature. And once you get nature, almost 90% of all your problems in those categories fade away when you get back in tune with nature and get content, which means get peace with what nature and how nature handles you. Cyclical. Stop trying to fight against cyclical nature. Stop trying to fight against the cycles. Stop trying to have some shit permanent. You're trying to have cancer permanently for the rest of your life. Come on, this shit is not permanent. Don't let them put that in your brain and in your spirit. Oh, my kidney is supposed to be they bad for the rest of my life. There's nothing here permanent. So who in the fuck gave you a permanent diagnosis ought to be ashamed of themselves? A pastor need to be ashamed of themselves if they've given you permanent diagnosis on you spiritually, and a doctor need to be ashamed of themselves if they're giving you permanent diagnosis on you physically, because nothing here is permanent. This thing works in cycles. I got it today, but I can alleviate it tomorrow. I can alleviate it tomorrow, and then I can get it back the next day. If you stop smoking today, your lungs will get better. If you start smoking today, your lungs will get worse. It's all on you, baby. It's just what you need to understand that comes from you being in tune with nature. It's easy. It's easy. Tanisha said, I've been going through some transformations. I have been very restrictive in hibernation even. Yeah. I know. Let loose. Let loose. And you don't have that much time to get this thing. You don't have that much time to get that answer right. At 46, you're out of Pisces and you're going into Aries. So if you don't know the problem that happened down in here, you definitely ain't gonna know the problem that's happening up here. And then I tell you another thing, Tanisha. In this next year, you're going into a phase where this shit is really finna be physical. You're going into a physical time, low tide, new moon. Okay? Waning moon. You're going into a time where you're gonna have more focus on your body. Are you physically fit for that? Because if you're not physically fit to use your body for the next 60 years, because you're going to get out of here at 106 years old. So you got to be, so your body finna go through a PT test at the elder age. I'm asking the question, are you physically fit? And that's what we're trying to get out to the masses of people using TikTok and YouTube and other platforms. Are we really ready for natural remedies? Are we really ready to get in tune with nature? It's not about a sound bowl. It's not about a Reiki healing. It's not about a binaural beat. It's not about a meditation, a practice, or this, that, and the third, and massages. It's simply about going outside and saying, hey, I apologize for overlooking you, son, because you sure been faithful to me. I apologize for overlooking you, oxygen, because you damn sure been faithful to me, air. I apologize for overlooking you, water, because you damn sure been faithful to me. And I apologize for overlooking you, earth, because without you, there'll be nothing. And so at the end of the day, you got to rekindle your relationship with nature, with God. You say you know him, but God is not in the book. God is not in the book of man. God is in the book of life. In the book of life, it ain't called the Bible. The book of life is called the life experience. The way that you know God is not by reading it. The way that you know God is by sensing it. And it says that you will know God by the things that were made that you know you ain't got shit to do with. So if you by now don't know it's a God because you ain't never seen a man make a sun, you ain't never seen a man make a moon, you never seen a man make a star, you never seen a man make an earth, you never seen man make these things. So there got to be something bigger than you. Just leave it right there then, pimp. And you keep it moving, but kindle that relationship. Because when you on your last breath, you keep asking doctor, and doctor ain't got nothing else to give you. Well, there's nothing else we can do. Well, We've done all. See, when man done exasperated all that they can, when the pastor done preached his heart out, he got no more to say. When the doctor done researched his heart out, he got no more to give you. Who do you go to? And what I'm saying is, me knowing this better now as a human being, I understand that I even can make mistakes. I wanted to remove myself from you having to be dependent on my knowledge about your health. Even though I'm probably one of the best doctors, herbalists, one of the best instruments of this knowledge on the planet. But I said, no, I don't want to be big-headed like that. Give me something that's bigger than me that I got to depend on you, God. I want to depend on you for these folks instead of having these folks depend on me. I want to depend on you for these folks instead of these folks having to depend on me. And so we found something that gave us that ability to do that, that gave us that ability to resort back, to refer back to the more higher consciousness, the more higher knowledge. You know, once the MRI spit out that little exam, it ain't nothing the doctors can do. Who higher than the MRI? Who higher than the CAT scan? Who higher than the PET scan? The doctors damn sure ain't. So they're relying on technology of modern man, and I'm relying on technology of ancient man, which was nature. Okay? Which was nature. Anybody else? Let's go ahead and give me a birthday. I'm sorry, TikTok. Go ahead and give me a birthday really quick. Keep tapping, you guys. I'll keep talking. We got about 30 more minutes. So if you keep tapping, I'll keep talking, and we'll go ahead and try to help you guys out. Jamel Austin 72883. Jamel Austin 72883. All right. Remember, you guys, you can get all your information with paying for your paying for your owner's manual for a funky measly $50. All you got to do is DM us. We'll get you that information. Okay. We also ship out herbal blends that come in your owner's manual. If you want your owner's manual herbal blend, which I would recommend for any and all of your situations, then you can let us know that as well. We'll get those shipped out to you as well. All right. So boom, we got 7. What was Austin at, buck? Because y'all booted Austin ass up out of here. And Austin hit it first. Jamel Austin 72883. 72883. All right, now we start getting into the young folk. 72883. All right, so 721 to 821, we already know that's a Leo. Okay, so we just did this a while ago. Leo. All right, the biggest thing is to make it back here. You make it back here, you're gonna be 120 years old. So that's destination. Current location. All right, you are 4 years younger than me, so you 41. Okay, or you almost finna be 42, right? So you were born in the first decan of Leo, so you got all 10 of this. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 2 years into Scorpio. So you're in the first decan of Scorpio right now in your life. Okay? The first decan of Scorpio right now in your life, meaning that something is starting to happen in your life. What is starting to happen in your life, though, is either you've came up with some kind of idea to do a joint venture, or you're trying to come up with some kind of idea to go maybe take a loan out for something, or either you got some inheritance that you just started to understand that you may be able to have a hand in. Jamel Austin. Okay, Jamel Austin. Something that just started for you in Scorpio, okay? Something that just started for you, okay? Either you've been thinking about a joint venture with somebody, going and doing something with somebody. You maybe even been thinking about taking out a loan, or somebody's going to give you some money from a loan or some kind of inheritance. That's just starting for you. But here's the decision that you're going to have to deal with in this time in your life, okay? The decision that you got to deal with here is it ain't always good to see the beauty in things. Sometimes it's okay to see the ugliness in things, okay? So with this time in your life right here, it's going to be okay to start seeing the ugliness in things. Jamel Austin. It's going to be okay to start seeing the ugliness and stuff. Okay? Because there's a time for that. Another thing is, too, you're in your spiritual time. So this is more consciousness. This is more thinking, concentration, focus, praying, meditating. Okay? It's more mental. It's more mental. So you're going to want to be manifesting. You're going to want to be magnetic. You're going to just want to be in your thought life. You don't need to be doing a whole lot to get what you want. You can just be saying it, thinking it, and starting to just focus on it. And those things will start to rear their head and they'll start to happen for you. Emotionally and spiritually, this is where you at. But the decision that you got to make right now is about seeing the beauty or seeing the ugliness. And I'm telling you, you want to see the ugliness in whatever that's about to be shown to you, because once you can see the ugliness in something, you can get the real picture. You can get the reality of that situation instead of always trying to see the beauty in it. Sometimes when you're always trying to see the beauty, then you overlooking some of these red flags. Okay, so at this time in your life, look, when you see them red flags, write them down, jot them down, and don't overlook them. See the ugliness the way it's supposed to be seen, so it can help you make the decision that you need to make. If you keep pacifying this ugliness and you keep want to see the good stuff, you're going to fail this test. Okay? Jamil Austin, they tell me exactly. All right, so that's all I wanted you to know. All right, now, as far as your health concerns is, the biggest thing that you want to watch out for, being born in the first deacon, okay, the first deacon of Leo, is that you want to watch out for your heart conditions, okay? Heart issues and something going on with your arms, okay? Something going on with your arms, okay, Austin? The arms and the heart issues, but something going on with your arms you want to be careful about as well, okay? Now, your model number, 728 is 35, that's going to be 8, and then 18 plus 3 is 21, that's a 3, 8 and 3 is an 11. Okay, so you are a water bender. Okay, but the 11 is going to let me know that guilt and unforgiveness, the spiritual emotions of guilt and unforgiveness can come in and stronghold you, and that can start wreaking havoc on your reproductive system, Jamil Austin. Guilt and unforgiveness can start to set in and wreak havoc on your reproductive organs, whether you got testes, gonads, ovaries, uterus, whatever, however you want to put them. Be careful, okay? Be careful, all right? And that's all for you. We're going to keep it moving. Anything else you want to know, please DM us. We'll get you your owner's manual, okay? And it'll have your foods, your herbs, and everything else in that. Anybody else? Jamil, what you think about that? All right, because I ain't hear from you. Jamil Austin, what you thought about that? I did not hear from you. Yeah, I know it's a lot of people that want to do it. A lot of people that want to do it. I was trying to see what Jamil was talking about. 625.81. Yeah, y'all everywhere. Appreciate it. Thank you. 625.81. Again, y'all are some of the babies. So if you are 625 is a Cancer, born in the first deacon. Okay. First deacon of Cancer. 81, that means that you're 2 years younger than me, so you're 44. Okay, so now we go, if you're born in the first deacon, that means you got all 10 of these years, right? So 10, 20, 30, 40, and 1. Okay, so you are currently in Scorpio as well. Okay, you're currently in Scorpio as well, and you're in Scorpio in the first deacon. You're in Scorpio in the first deacon. Okay, so the same thing. Something just coming up for you as well in the form of joint ventures, inheritances, some kind of loan, but that's just started in your life as well. But you're in Scorpio, you're in the spiritual time of your life. Okay. Being born in the first deacon of Cancer, you want to watch out for things like you definitely want to watch out for skin issues, and you want to watch out for spinal issues. Okay. Your boy Daz. You want to watch out for skin issues, and you want to watch out for spinal issues. Again, you are in the spiritual time of life. So rest, manifest, think about it, concentrate, focus on it, pray about it, meditate on it. All you got to do is use this at this particular time in your life. Now, for you, it's the same thing. You got to see the ugliness for a Scorpio. It's time for you to see the ugliness. Okay? You got to see the ugliness so that you can start being aware of these red flags that you keep overlooking because you want everybody to be all good. Okay? 6/8/1984, love. 6/8/1984. Okay, you are born in the middle decan of Gemini, so watch out for your lungs and watch out for eye issues. Okay, for your lungs and for eye issues. All right, born in the middle decan of Gemini. All right, now you are 84, so you're going to be 5 years younger than me, so you're 41. Okay, so if you're born in the middle decan, then you only got 6 years here. So 6, 16, 26, 36, 46. So you're here because you're only 41. Okay, so that means you're in Libra. So you're right dab in the middle of relationship and partnership issues. Okay, relationship and partnership, not issues, but just you're in that phase, relationship and partnership phase. Okay, so the biggest thing that you want to decide on. Okay, I forgot who this was, but 6/08/84. The biggest thing that you want to decide on is peace. Okay, love, yeah, peace. Okay, in this relationship partnership, you want to choose peace, no longer chaos and drama. Okay, love. Okay, so cool. Now, if you want to go down the road of issues and all that type of stuff, obviously you get your owner's manual, and we'll give you all the rest of that information. All right, China 71. China 71, we got 12, 11, 19. Look, you guys, let's keep tapping the screen. Let's get us up to 100K. Okay, get us up to 100K. If you keep tapping, I'll keep talking. Otherwise, we can go ahead and cancel out. You know, when I do this, man, I'm doing this for a lot of you guys to show y'all really what you get. Now, y'all are coming on this show to just try to get that little funky free that you get, but that free ain't going to free you. The only reason I'm giving you this free is to show you by your birthday how accurate this thing is so that you can start to rely and understand that, okay, if this shit is accurate on these people just by their birthday, then it got to be able to give me my herbs and my foods and my lifestyle activities, which it does, so that you can start saying that if it's right on the problems, it's right on the solutions. Okay? Get these herbs and the stuff that this shit be spitting out. That's what you need. Okay? Now, who else? Who else? 12/11/71. If this is your first time on, thank you. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. Okay, we teach people how to heal themselves, but you got to know thyself in order to heal yourself. So we teach people about the human frame and the human design, and we teach people about the oldest timekeeping on the planet, which is this mechanism, this instrument, this tool, and we're using this now to heal ourselves financially. To heal ourselves, I'm gonna say wealthy and healthy wise. All right. 12/11/71. 12/11/71. All right. So we know that 11/21 to 12/21 is going to make you a Sagittarius. Okay. All right. 11/21 to 12/21 would make a person a Sagittarius. Now you were born in the third decan of Sagittarius, which means that you got that you got only 3 years of Sagittarius in you, right? So 3, and then you're 8 years older than me, so that makes you what, 54? Well, you'll be 54 this year, so you're 53. Okay, you're 53 years old. Now watch this. 6, 16. 3, 13, 23, 33, 43, 53. Okay, so because you're turning 54 this year, I'll put you in Gemini, but you're really right at the ass end of your last year in Taurus. So this is your last year in Taurus. Something is ending concerning your income, your work, your money. Something is ending when it comes to your personal possessions. Okay, your personal possessions, all that stuff is, if it hadn't came, then it ain't gonna come, but it's ending. Okay, so whatever's going on with your income, your personal possessions, That's coming to an end. Next year, you're moving into something, a whole new lesson. Now, what this was trying to show you this year, which was your last year, you needed to decide on this right here. Okay. And what you needed to do was to see the beauty in things. Whatever you was going on with you here in that Taurus, you needed to see the beauty in things. That's what you needed to pass that test. I don't know if you pass it or not, because hell, you about to be out of that class anyway. So if you better use this little time wisely, start seeing the beauty in things. Okay, you start seeing the beauty in things. Another thing here is because you were born in the third decan of Sagittarius, you want to watch out for nearsighted. Okay, nearsightedness. Nearsighted. Okay, nearsighted means that you can see close, but you can't see far. Spiritually, what that means is that you're good at the short-term goals, but not necessarily a very good long-term goal planner. So we want to make sure that you understand how to also help your vision by helping you long-term goal set. You help your physical vision by helping your spiritual vision. You didn't know that, did you? Yes, these things here are not only literary, they're also spiritually. These are metaphysical things. They happen in the body and they happen in your life. So nearsighted means that you're a great short-term goal setter, but you need to be great long-term too. Okay. So remember that when you're talking about the near sight and the speech. And another thing is as well as too, this is a time of life where things are moving around for you. A lot of moving parts, a lot of moving pieces, maybe even thinking about traveling, going to different areas. That's going to always be a part of you because you're that Sagittarius. But I'm telling you that the life lesson is right now to see the beauty. And then the next one are going into this one right here, which would be, your the way that you keep your mind and your body, I'm gonna say working, right? You don't ever want for that boredom to set in. So in this next life lesson, there's going to be things that's going to be affecting you when it comes to your boredom and your ability to be fun and do this and to do that. And you want to be able to choose the right life lesson. Okay. You also are in the spiritual time, the physical time of life. So this is a time for you to be physically fit. Keep focus and concentration on your body. Your physical health is going to be imperative here. So you want to make sure that happening. Yes, you're in your 40s. So there's a lot of physical wear and tear already. And then on top of that, the man just told you in your PT test. So there should be a little bit more illumination on you to be able to focus more on being physically fit, seeing that you're in your physical fitness test of life. If you don't pass it, you die. Simple as that. We're not playing with you when it comes to this stuff. As simple as that. If you are already 40-something years old here, then that means that this is 50. That means that this is what, if you're 46, so that means that this was 56, 66, 76, 86. You know how many people dying in 60s, 70s, and 80s? So you might not even pass this if you don't focus on the body. Okay? Now y'all see what we're doing, right? You see what we're doing with it? Y'all can understand it now? How many of you guys feel like you understand it? Put some ones in the chat. If you feel like you understand what we're talking about, put some ones in the chat. If you already got your owner's manual and you feel like you're doing it and it's giving you grave results, fine. I appreciate you. If you feel like it ain't doing nothing, let us know. Okay? Most of you guys saying you guys are getting it. You're getting it. You're getting it. You're getting it. You're getting it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay? I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Yes, sir. I don't understand how you got the year they in. Somebody said, I don't understand how you got the year they in. What you mean how I got the year they in? You're talking about how I'm counting through to see their current location? I know it. So each of these is 10 years. But these are deacons inside of each triangle. You have 3 deacons. So there's 36 deacons around these 12 zodiacs. each deacon is a degrees of situations. Some stuff can be starting, you can be in the middle of something, you can be ending something. Okay? So what I'm saying is that we got to quantify where that is specifically you are at. So with this person, they were born in the last deacon of Sagittarius, so we can't say they got all 10 of these years, but we could say, okay, well, maybe 2 or 3. So I just say 3 and then go to 13, 23, 33, 43, right? And so on and so on until you get that person's age. Okay? That's how you get their year. That's how you know where they are. That's how I know what they got going on. I feel hella depressed. I need some insight for sure. Yeah, you just DM me, man. We'll get y'all that information. It's a lot of us that are dealing with depression. Depression is a part of the suppressed emotions. Now, depression, though, can start having respiratory issues. You can find yourself wanting to smoke all the time. You can find yourself having some lung issues. You can find yourself having some autoimmune diseases. You can find yourself having some immune issues, sinuses, allergies, all kind of things, just because of depression. So the bottom line is depression is because your foot is in yesterday. So you got your foot in yesterday, you got your head in the future, and then your present position is just the body. Well, you're so, because you got one leg in the back in yesterday and you got one head in the future, you're unstable in the present moment. So what I'm saying is yesterday is over with, sis. Ain't no need in being depressed on it yesterday. There's no need in letting yesterday and letting tomorrow fuck up today. Let me repeat that for you guys. There is no need to continue to allow yesterday and tomorrow to affect today. Some of you guys are not being able to enjoy today because of some shit that happened yesterday. And some of y'all are not being able to enjoy today because you're so flustered about what you got to do for tomorrow. You spend all today worrying about tomorrow. You washing clothes for tomorrow today. You iron clothes for tomorrow today. You did all of this work for tomorrow today, but what if your ass don't wake up tomorrow, then you just wasted today? You still fussing about yesterday today. You still thinking about what we talked about yesterday today. You still want to bring yesterday into today. You still allowing some shit that happened 4 years ago to mess with your today. Everything you did today was about yesterday. Then what did you do for today? So stop being depressed and allowing yesterday to affect your today. Don't even worry about tomorrow. You just wake up every day and say, I ain't gonna let July the 19th fuck up July the 20th. I ain't gonna let July the 18th mess with July the 19th. And I ain't gonna let July the 20th mess with July the 19th. So between July the 18th and July the 20th, I ain't gonna let neither one of y'all fuck up July the 19th. And then you'll get out of depressive and you'll get out of anxiety or anxious states. And I'm not saying that this is simple. This is mental illness at its core. So I'm not saying this because this is at the precipice of what's taking us out of balance and out of nature. Because we're dealing with some of these emotional stress things that we shouldn't be dealing with, especially not in a heavenly consciousness. But because you're in the hellacious consciousness, because you're in the death consciousness, you're having to deal with it. But it ain't what God set up for you. It ain't the life that nature really got for you. It ain't the life that mama really dreamed of a baby living. And that's why when you get back into balance with nature and you get this contentment and you get this peace with nature and you get this dependency back on nature like you used to have, then you ain't depressed no more because that contentment and that peace won't let depression fuck up today. And that contentment and that peace won't let anxiety fuck up today. but we can help you. Nature-based interventions have a 93% improvement rating on mental illness. Nature-based interventions have a 73% improvement on cognitive health issues. Nature-based interventions has a 83% improvement on physical health issues. Nature-based interventions has been studied and quantified and qualified to help in those 3 areas of life. And the owner's manual is the best resource that can put you back in cohesiveness with nature. The more you embrace nature, you'll see that it's the simplest things keeping you going. The simplest things are waking up and getting the right sunlight, going to sleep and resting at the right times, drinking the right water, which is natural spring water or well water, eating the right foods, which is freshly grown, freshly picked things that you're growing. Okay, that's the right food if you grow it. The right food ain't what store it's in. The right food is if you grow it. I'm just giving you how it is. That don't mean y'all go out and do nothing. But if you can't answer yes to these things, then this is what's gonna fuck you up. If you going through life and you can't say, am I drinking natural spring water straight from the well or from a natural spring source in nature? If the answer is no, then you might gonna be suffering from whatever issues that drinking bad water will do to you, like dehydration. If that answer is no, we can already start walking you down. If you're not growing your own food, then we can just about think that that's an area. If your answer is no, you're not growing your own food. If you're going to Whole Foods, if you're going to Sprouts, if you're going to Piggly Wiggly, if you're going to Wayfield Food, if you're going to Kroger, if you're going to Publix, if you're going to Little Giants, if you're going to the farmers market, it don't matter where you're going to get it. If it ain't going in your backyard, then that can be an infiltrator, because you're allowing inorganics into your body because you're not doing your job. So if you're not drinking the right water, that's an infiltrator. That's a way that the enemy can sneak in. If you're not eating the right foods, which is the foods that you're growing. So if you're not growing your own food, then that's a way the enemy, if you're going to the grocery store, to the farmer's market, that's a way the enemy can sneak in because you're not doing it. You're not guarding that door. Next, if all you do is find yourself indoors around air-conditioned spaces, you getting air-conditioned air or you doing air-conditioned heater. It don't really matter, but everything you in is either got a heater to it or some air conditioning to it, and you ain't out here getting good, free, old, unconditioned air, then guess what? Air-conditioned air, being around these heaters and these air conditions is a way for the infiltrator to sneak in, because you can't have too much air, too much moisture coming into your body, into your lungs. A lot of y'all are sitting there, these jobs up under these AC units, all on your back of your neck. You got high blood pressure. All in your, you got your little stomach all out and shit like that at the gym, air and fans all into your shit. But you know, oh, I don't know why I can't lose this weight. I don't know why I got fibroids, because you letting air into your uterus. You letting air into the back of your neck. These things are not what so if you got conditioned air, it don't get that goddamn cold until that season. It's 95 degrees outside, you got it 65 degrees in the building, you throwing your body off. Is it hot or cold today? It's 95 degrees outside, but in your building you got it 65. You're confusing your body, which is gonna make you sick. Duh. It's 35 degrees outside. It's 100 degrees in the building. You got it hot as hell in the building, and then you're going outside at spurts, going from 35 degrees to 100 degrees. You confusing the body. So if you ain't getting enough air, the right air, that's the way the infiltrator comes in. And then obviously we know the sun. So you artificial light, you're in the light bulbs. Don't want to spend not a damn day in the sun. So you go from the light bulbs in your house to the light bulb in your car garage, to the light bulbs in your parking deck and in your building garage, to the light bulbs in your building. Then from that building back to that car back to that car, from that car to the grocery store light bulb, from the grocery store light bulb back to your garage light bulb, back into your artificial light bulb. You spent most of your day, most of your life in artificial lighting and not real sunlight. That's where the infiltrator gonna come in. Now you land up with vitamin D deficiency, skin issues, and et cetera, because you're just not getting the right sunlight. Nature-based interventions is what you need. So I'm going to leave you guys at that, man. You guys have been a great audience today. We appreciate all 105,000 likes that we were able to gather from you guys on this particular day, man. Look, I am live in South Africa, okay? We're coming live from South Africa. If you are in South Africa and you're looking for a speaker, you're looking for someone to be able to teach you some things that you probably didn't understand, recognize, or even didn't know that existed, then I am all for you guys in my time out here. Again, if you want me to come back to the States and you need for me to teach at your church, at your facility or whatever, hey, holler at me, DM me. Let's get this information out to as many people as possible. This is not a white man's thing, and this is not a black man's thing. This is not an Asian man's thing, and this is not a man's thing. This is a human construct that we need to filter out into time and space and allow us to be able to preserve nature again, understanding the efficacy that it has, the influence that it has on our livelihood. And once we start taking care of nature, we'll start understanding how to take care of ourselves, man. And so until next time, I love you guys. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Peace. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. You too. Be back tomorrow, same bat time, same bat time, man. Go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. Love you.